It is Overreaction Monday, November 8th, 2021, years after the year zero was found. But what does that mean? None of us know. Darius Rucker stops by today. Darius Butler stops by today. AJ Hawk, all the boys, and fallout reaction from the games and the Aaron Rodgers conversation on Friday. It's quite a day. We can't thank you enough for joining us. If you enjoy the show by the end of it, please be a friend, tell a friend. If not, just act like it never happened. Let's get to it. Yesterday on an NFL Sunday that was absolutely absurd and insane, where the underdogs became alphas 5 times. Whew. And teams that we never thought could lose lost to teams that we never thought would win, and it was absolute absurdity. But today, while you watch along at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show, we're going to have to talk about everything that happened in the NFL. Everything.
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
Everything. And one of those things is Aaron Rodgers did not play for the Green Bay Packers yesterday.
No, he didn't.
At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, Tone Diggs is here, the host of Hammer Down, which airs 15 minutes after this show ends every Monday through Friday at youtube.com/Hammer Down. That Chiefs-Packers game is going to be quite a conversation piece for the time going forward, because whenever we get to the offseason, where there is potentially no guaranteed money left for Aaron Rodgers, and we all know what happened this past offseason with Aaron Rodgers, and I think more than anybody else what happened to Aaron Rodgers this past weekend on the internet.
Yeah.
It was hot. It was hot. It was hot in the kitchen of the internet. And, I had a lot of people questioning my credibility out there.
Well, I can imagine.
Yeah, I had a lot of people questioning the way I go about doing what I do, and I completely understand that. And I guess I was supposed to at certain points in those conversations. And I mean, he had a prepared speech to answer what everybody had been saying about him and the situation in a pretty one-sided affair, I think, and mostly because Aaron didn't speak to anybody, right? He hadn't spoken to anybody, so I guess whenever he came on, he said, listen, I'm going to come correct. He had pages of notes. And I feel like I did ask some follow-up. Hey, there's going to be people that say this, and there's going to be people that say this, and all that stuff. But it was literally an opportunity to hear what Aaron Rodgers was thinking about the entire situation, and that led to one thing to another. And, it's our guy! Fuck that guy! I mean, that was all weekend. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of people saying that I potentially should have, pressured him with more questions or whatever. Well, the only reason we're in this situation is because whenever he said he was immunized, none of the people that went to, school and all these people that aren't getting any, by the way, these people I think those people were even questioning me for some of the stuff that I had in that whole world. I didn't ask enough tough follow-ups. Well, if that happened then, we wouldn't even be in this situation, but we're in this situation. Now that we're in it, it is hot. I mean, it is a hot situation. Now, I didn't let it affect me that much, to be honest. I just decided that everybody pretty much knows when they're watching that clip that the guy in the tank top on the left side of the screen, probably Stitch. Okay?
Sure.
Which is accurate when it comes to things like what we had been talking about in that situation. Like, I did not have a 500-page report. I am vaccinated.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
But I am also a guy that would like to hear people's thoughts. I like to hear people's reasons behind things. And I think the reason why I like to do that is because I'm naturally a curious person. But also I've been very lucky to get to meet so many different people and types of people from, all walks of life, all socioeconomic status, literally all of them, from every part of the country, every single sexuality, everything. I've gotten an opportunity in this incredibly lucky life to meet a lot of people. And since I'm naturally curious, and I think I kind of have the aura of welcoming, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people. It is probably the coolest thing that I wish upon, like, my kid, if I ever have it. If I ever have a kid someday. Hopefully, my wife and I will be able to have a kid, but I hope that is something that my kid gets to experience, because it is enlightening. It is awesome. I've traveled. I've gotten a chance to go to, 5 of the 7 continents, I think. I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of people from all over, and if you're a natural conversationalist, which I think I am, even if there's a language barrier, I try to figure it out. Once you start learning about people, you quickly realize, like, oh, that's why that person feels this way about this particular item. And then you meet somebody from over here, and it's like, oh, it makes sense that you feel that way about that because this is what you have gone through in your life. And oh, that's all. I would have never thought about that. That's really cool. And then that is kind of how I have become, I think, I think I'm kind of a unifier. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I have friends all over the map. I feel like I have a lot of relationships, and I think a lot of people view this show as a place to kind of just come and get away from all that shit. So I like to think that the reason why Aaron came on the show to say his side is because I do believe that we are a natural. I would like to hear why, and then once you find out why, you either go, that's fucking stupid, or it's like, okay, that makes sense, but at least you get a chance to hear why and how, the fact that he was allergic to 2, and then his research and 500-page report, and then obviously everybody said that he consulted with Dr. Joe Rogan.
Right. Yeah. Ooh.
Joe Rogan, not a doctor, by the way. I don't want to spew any misinformation. But there was a couple parts of that conversation that people were just leaving out whenever they were judging the entire conversation, like him saying about his medical team that he had, and then also following up to potentially chat with Joe Rogan as a consultant, and they got latched onto that. But I knew, wow, Aaron said Joe Rogan, I knew immediately upon him saying Joe, because in my head, I was actually thinking like, oh, this sounds like a guy who has a lot of money, a lot of access to a lot of things, a lot of research is probably being done. I said, this kind of sounds like, while he was talking, I was like, this kind of seems like the Rogan, this kind of sounds from the same angle. And then I thought to myself, if he says Joe Rogan's name, if he says Joe Rogan's name, everybody, this is going to be big, because the mere mention of Joe Rogan's name, whoo, it goes. Now, he chooses for that to happen. He dives right into the politics world, so he got to do that. But as somebody who observes, reports, lives on the internet, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, actually, people saw it, and I'm thinking, if he says Rogan's name right now, the whole place is going to go bananas. And then it was a half a beat later.
Yeah.
I've even got a chance to chat with my now friend Joe Rogan. I almost lost it. I did ask some follow-ups, by the way, though. I asked some follow-ups about what his medical team did. He said he didn't want to get into that, and I don't know if that's because he doesn't know it as thoroughly, or if he doesn't want that to be portrayed as the right answer, which I think is how we got to this entire point to begin with, where Aaron, we all have brains. He does as well. When he said, yeah, I'm immunized or whatever, he was definitely trying to get out of that conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
He even said, if they would have followed up, I would have told him. But in that time, it felt like everybody was kind of chasing who was vaccinated, who wasn't vaccinated. Well, let's go ahead and make sure everybody knows there was different rules for this entire thing. And I think he definitely, tried to skirt or he tried to get out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
He tried to win that moment, I think. Now, I don't know if he openly said that in the conversation, but I think we all with the brain say it. But I honestly believe he did that because he legitimately thought, I don't want to have to be the guy fucking talking for this. This is just how I feel. I don't want to be the guy that has to every single day tell why I feel, how I feel. If you remember Kirk Cousins, Carson Wentz, they had to come out and talk about it like 4 or 5 times. Imagine if it was Aaron Rodgers. I just had Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins, who are only known basically in a small. If Aaron Rodgers is now not this, he becomes the face of it. I think he knew he was going to have to become the poster boy for it, which he is right now, by the way. But I think that is why he potentially misled, which I think he alluded to. So I guess I could have pressured him a little bit more on that, but I think it was because of the, hey, I don't want to have to be the one talking for this every single day. But just because I feel a certain way about it doesn't mean everybody, which is the bodily autonomy thing. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, there have been a lot of incredibly intelligent people that I have a lot of respect for. And once again, this goes back to me getting a chance to chat with a lot of different people with a lot of different backgrounds. And a lot of people I have a lot of respect for actually don't necessarily agree on everything, which is in their world, which is crazy. But a lot of people said that we allowed him to spew misinformation and everything like that. For that, I apologize. Because I don't know what the fuck the misinformation is.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I honestly wish I did. I don't know enough about that. And it wasn't me saying it. It was Aaron answering what has been attacking him for the last 3 days. I feel like he had the right to defend himself. If I did not get the key points out about the misinformation, I would like to let everybody know. I apologize. but also I think a big part of his message was like, you should be doing this research yourself to find out what's best for your body. So if our platform potentially enabled that, isn't that an overall positive? Because then people will learn that the vaccine's good for them. More people will get vaccinated. Here's the stats. Here's the numbers. Boom, as long as people looked into it. Then there might be some more people who decide, like, okay, because Aaron Rodgers told me to look into it, I did look into it. I'm potentially allergic to the same thing, looking to do the same thing. Maybe it's right for me, like it was right for Aaron to not do it. But anyways, what I'm saying with all this is, overall positive, lot of negative. lot of negative. And I do apologize for potentially not hammering home the science and stats like I should have, I guess a lot of people are saying. But also, there's no way you were thinking that that's what I was going to do. Like, there's no way anybody had that as the expectation. And I appreciate and respect everybody afterwards, you know, thinking that that is what I can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for that, I am humbled. Okay, I am incredibly humbled that you can look at that screen and you can see what I do, which I'm very lucky to do what I do with the boys on a daily basis, and I get a chance to do a lot of very cool things. And if you immediately thought, hey, this guy fucking knows the ins and outs of the situation.
Oh, yeah. He's the only one.
This is the only guy. This is the only guy that knows all things. He should be putting Aaron's feet to the fire. If you thought that, I am incredibly humbled, honored, and I promise at some point in my life I will try to work to become that person that you can maybe not, but I will try to become that person. So to those people, I would like to say thank you for the incredible honor of thinking that that is something I'd be able to do. I apologize, I am not. But once again, your peers were in the room when he said I'm immunized and just let it fly in the middle of the entire thing, like, hey, are people trying to slip by the goalie here with how they're answering? So I would just like potentially a little bit of a fair treatment, as you know, as all us journalists have.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
That's what I would like.
I think it was the glasses. I think when you put the glasses on, people probably thought, oh, this guy, he's a pathologist.
And by the way, before the conversation, I even said, I'm putting the glasses on.
Yeah, have to.
I'm putting the glasses on and look smart. Too smart. I look too smart.
Yeah.
That's on me. And I assume they looked at AJ and said, that guy doesn't even have a brain.
He's a fool.
That guy doesn't even have a brain over there. But it was a wild weekend. I'm happy we can potentially continue to learn about each other and enjoy this great sport. But Aaron Rodgers not playing yesterday was a big story.
Yep.
So obviously with the day that was kind of, I think, forgettable in a lot of people's minds because a lot of teams didn't show up that normally show up, and then teams showed up that don't normally show up. And people are, is that an anomaly or is this a new trend? And everybody goes, this is not the new trend. That was an anomaly. So none of the storylines really mean shit at this point going into week 10. It's just kind of that. So this story is still continuing to go, as it will probably forever until whatever happens.
The next one.
But I think Aaron Rodgers, football-wise, won a lot of leverage last night.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think Aaron Rodgers won a lot of leverage last night. Not that Jordan Love doesn't have the capability of being a great quarterback at some point. There was moments in there. There was a couple throws on the run where he looked very incredibly comfortable, smooth, athletic. He had a couple throws that looked great, a couple decisions that looked fantastic. But then there was these fadeaways that were happening and these checks that probably weren't happening. And then obviously the miscommunication on the snap with that whole thing and the pick. I mean, it is just, there's a lot of things that happen that you go, okay, maybe he'll be great at some point, but that time's nowhere near now. With the team that we currently have built to win now, if we had to resort to Jordan Love, we'd be potentially fucked for at least a little bit before he maybe gets his feet under him. Now, if he has to play next week against the Seahawks and Aaron can't play because he can only come back on Saturday, I'd assume he's going to play.
Yeah, LaFleur already said if he comes back on Saturday, he's starting on Sunday.
And LaFleur, by the way, there's probably an even bigger conversation piece about LaFleur's reputation now with how yesterday went. Well, with Jordan Love, maybe he'll be able to get there in a few years. But ain't nobody that's a Packers fan is hoping, you know what, for the next couple years, let's just wait for Jordan to get good because our team is good. Nobody's thinking that. So everybody that was defending Jordan last night from the Packers fan base, I appreciate your loyalty to the Chiefs. I appreciate the hell out of that. But what I think we're all saying whenever we say, oh, Aaron Rodgers can basically say, this is what you're going to pay me, and this is how we're going to do it. If he wanted to. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but if Aaron Rodgers wanted to, he could walk in there and go, hey, listen, we just seen it, right? You're what, 2-3 years out maybe? 1, 2, 3 years. Do you have 2-3 years with this roster with how much you paid everybody? No way. How you paid everybody? You don't. This is what it's going to take. Keep me around. I'd like to make some more decisions. Cobb, big-time player, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should do a little bit more of that. And then bang, they're back and running because Aaron scores what? Probably 50 last night against that Chiefs defense.
I mean, I don't think it would have been close.
Special teams are terrible.
Horrible.
But Aaron had to be watching that, okay? And I assume he was. I assume Aaron was watching that game. It was probably very uncomfortable. I was potentially, thinking about how he would be watching the game as they showed different angles and stuff. Jordan Love walking up to the line. I thought to myself, Aaron's probably like, what the fuck's that? I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
Jordan, throw it right here. Throw it right here. No, something else happens that you can only garner from experience, by the way. We're comparing Jordan Love to Aaron fucking Rodgers. It's not fair for Jordan Love. It hasn't been fair for Jordan Love since literally day one of this entire shitstorm that has begun. I think Aaron and Jordan Love get along. Yeah. I don't think they have any beef at all. It's not, but you're comparing him to Aaron Rodgers, and I think yesterday we all learned a lot that the Packers without Aaron are much different than the Packers with Aaron. Green Bay Packers owner Ty Schmidt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and like you said, I mean, LaFleur, I think, is going to take it on the chin big time because everyone was saying kind of going into the week, we'll see how good he is with his game plan, and he admitted after the game, it wasn't very good. And granted, the line wasn't great, but I don't know. Like you said, I don't know how you could look at that with the roster and everything that's set up and be like, you know what? After this year, it doesn't matter. We're going to have to get rid of Rodgers. People are acting like the Chiefs, the Chiefs aren't the 85 Bears. Their defense fucking stinks. And they
they might have found their mojo last night.
They scored 7 points, and it was just some of the things too, going away from the run when A.J. Dillon was just chewing up yards. That didn't really make any sense. The special teams, I mean, I've been saying it for how long? It's going to end up losing them a game. It lost him the game yesterday. Jordan Love wasn't great, but ultimately, I mean, you look, the Rams get beat. Everyone got beat yesterday, pretty much. So, and if Rodgers comes back on Sunday in the long run, it doesn't matter.
In college football, some top teams struggled and lost.
That's right.
In the NFL, the same thing seemed to have happened on the bye week of the Buccaneers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty fascinating to think. They're probably only going to get better coming out of the other side of this bye week. But it was a shitstorm for everybody. And I think there should be a little conversation about the more we watch the NFL, the less we know. Mm-hmm. As sports gambling continues its pilgrimage into every Middlesex village and farm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Around the country, we have to remember, you shall never and should never gamble enough money to drop you out of your current tax bracket or lift you into another tax bracket unless you're hitting for insane odds that project you into a higher tax percentage being paid to the government. Because after these games take place yesterday, Dak meant nothing coming back to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Dak Cooper Rush, you remember that whole thing? That happened less than a week ago, or actually a little bit more than a week ago. Quick math, good numbers. Big stats guy after the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I read a lot of stats. I was tweeted a lot of stats from a lot of people this weekend. Once again, I would like to remain firm on the stance that it is amazing how stats actually play for both teams in every single argument. It's amazing. It is unbelievable how stats is able to play for everybody.
Yeah.
How does it happen? Stats is better than fucking Santa Claus being everywhere at one time.
That's right.
Stats is on this side. Stats is on that side. Stats is coming in from a whole different party all of a sudden. Stats is both teams and the referees.
Yeah, make the world go round.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I read a lot of them this weekend. But stats would tell you that probably Dak Prescott coming back for the fucking Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World, playing against the Denver Broncos that stink.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos stink. And they just got rid of their best player, Von Miller. Stats would tell you, I would assume there's some that would come out from the Mile High City about how they were going to do this whole thing. I assume some stat would be there. But stats would say, Dak coming back with the energy and that team and everything, they're going to win. They did not. They got fucking murdered.
Slaughtered.
Hey, they got slaughtered. Almost as bad as Aaron Rodgers, mine, and Joe Rogan's mentions.
Yeah, that's right.
You're talking about absolutely slaughtered. 30 zip late in the fourth quarter, 5 minutes left. Dak Prescott threw for 105 yards or something like that. How's that even happen when they throw the ball all the time? Zeke didn't go for anything crazy. I don't think Tony Pollard made a couple plays, but he wasn't going bananas. They were just all out stink fest in Dallas. And these are things we have to think about as we go into the gambling world. Because not only was it Dak and Dallas that just lost, the Bills lost to the chop house owner himself. Double guns.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jags.
Can't do it.
Scored 6 points.
Kidding me?
They scored 6 points.
Jesus.
The Buffalo Bills lost to Urban Meyer. Josh Allen. Josh Allen lost to Josh Allen. He did. And the Josh Allen that lost is the Josh Allen that doesn't lose. The other Josh Allen, he's on a losing team.
Yeah.
He's a very good player, but he loses a lot. Losing Josh Allen on this particular Sunday beat winning Josh Allen by a lot. Fumble, pick, tackle, you name it. 6 points for that offense. Are you kidding me? What the hell? They were up 56-0 in a 5-quarter run at some point earlier in this season. They go down to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's the blueprint. Josh Allen's the blueprint to beat the Buffalo Bills. No way. They struggled coming out of the bye week last week against the Dolphins, inevitably got the win, and everybody thought the Buffalo Bills, they're back. The Bills are a wagon. I love the Bills. I love everything about the way they play. They look like a tough team. They have fun out there. The fan base is absurd and insane once the snow starts. Once the snow starts falling,
Look out.
the ketchup and mustard flying in the parking lot, tables getting busted. The Bills are back. This was exciting times. He lost a fucking. This is Urban Meyer's first game ever won in the United States, isn't it?
That's right. He can do it.
How's that even happen? And they didn't just beat him. I mean, that was 9-6.
Yeah. Disgusting game.
And it calls for an actual conversation to be had. The Monday Night Manning curse might be real. There was a lot that had happened through the first couple of weeks. Russell Wilson, Gronk, you name it. You go down the list of guests on Monday Night Manning, either getting hurt the next week or losing the next week. And it's all coincidence. You know, it's hard.
Sure.
It's hard to blame a conversation with Peyton and Eli over there on ESPN2 starting at 8:13 p.m. But Josh Allen goes on there, and the whole internet says, Monday Night Manning curse, do not go on there. And everybody's, no, it's a Jags, dude. It's a fucking chop house.
There's
bro.
no way.
They're going to chop house, Duval. There's no way. The fact that the Monday Night Manning curse was able to execute a mush on Josh Allen against the Jacksonville Jaguars warrants conversation about the Monday Night Manning curse.
It really does.
Mind-boggling.
Who's going on there tonight? Who's going to stop the curse? Who's going to debunk it? Because the Madden curse was a real thing for a while, and then it stopped.
Right.
People started doing, I think it was Tom Brady.
It was Brady, yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brady, who's debunked every single stats. By the way, stats have had a hell of a run against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom Brady and stats have been in the deep end for the last 20-some years, both sides.
But even Manning's
Tom
got
Brady's
him.
tagging in stats, hot tag,
Yeah.
and also fighting stats every single time. He's done that with the Madden thing, the Monday Night Manning thing, tonight.
They got Brady, and yes, they're off tonight.
They got Brady.
Yeah, they lost. He lost to the Saints after going on.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Gronk got
They
hurt.
got. It was.
Oh, no.
It was Kelsey and Wilson. Russ Wilson.
Kelsey's back, by the way, kind of. Hey, he's a big dog. Don't ever forget it.
That's right.
Patrick Mahomes might.
He stinks this year. I don't think he stinks in general, but he stinks
That's a good
this
way to say
year.
it.
I what you guys thought I was going to say. You thought I was going to say stinks?
Yeah.
Packers defense is good.
Packers
It is
defense,
good.
unbelievable.
It is good, but Mahomes stinks this year.
Yep.
We can
not
say
saying
it.
it.
It's okay. He's still very, very good, but he stinks this year.
There has to be. It has to be the TikToking
Yeah.
and the, and the jinxing and the standing
That's
and
right.
Yeah.
the wife and the kid and the baby. Not that's anything. I'm just saying maybe potentially in the TikToking and that whole thing. Getting in. Is that what it is? Is it paralysis by overanalysis because of all the other things that are potentially happening in his life? He's now owner of a baseball team. Baseball stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst.
He decided to sign up and strap himself into a stink rocket that is baseball by buying a terrible baseball team. Right?
Yeah, they won a World Series a couple years ago, but they do stink.
Like there's a lot of things that we have to think towards. How did we get here with Patrick Mahomes? I don't love it. I hate it. I enjoy watching great be great. I will always be riveted by greatness. I will always be excited to learn why that motherfucker's the motherfucker and this motherfucker ain't. Like I love that. Patrick Mahomes, MVP, Super Bowl, $500 million, everything. State Farm commercials. He was at all those, Celebrity, everything is going.
Coors Light.
It was just thrown. Silver bullet, baby.
Yeah,
That's right.
Fucking silver bullet, baby. He was handed everything. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like he was the only guy that was ready for it because his dad was a professional baseball player, grew up in a bullpen, blah, blah, blah. He knows how it is. I would assume the world at some point will catch up to you. How can you navigate those waters to get out of it quick? They won. They still got to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, this is conversations happening about the Chiefs after they win games. This is back-to-back. Now, granted, that Packers team without Aaron did not look great, but that Packers defense looked unbelievable. And special teams played great, even though the Packers played terrible. Okafor jumped over your fucking lineman, okay, and blocked that ball. Like, laces were back. That snapper's got to figure that out. Mason Crosby needs to stop taking all the heat that he's taking.
Taking it on the shins big time.
They're saying he needs to do it. Bojo, incredible punter. Mm-hmm. Snapper, brand new snapper, rookie snapper, first game, NFL game or whatever. They need to figure it out. I'm not mailing it in on them at all, but things change in the game. Maybe for the snapper, his point of when the laces were, perfect for Corey Bojorquez, which is what the snapper is being judged on for field goals. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's supposed to just be in the area every single time. Snap it the exact same. Let's assume maybe that when you get in your first NFL game and it's big game.
Yeah, game of the week.
Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Let's assume there's a chance that maybe your ball speed changes a little bit. Maybe you throw the ball faster than you threw it in practice, so your point of where the laces were perfect might be 6 inches different than what it was before, and maybe they were trying to figure that out on the sideline. They weren't able to get the consistency, and if that's the case, that snapper's going to be gone before he can even say, I was a snapper for the Packers. Yeah. So he'll have to figure that out. They'll have to figure that out. But everybody automatically blames Mason Crosby. 21-mile-an-hour wind gusts, which also affects the snap, by the way. So this is something that the rookie snapper had to deal with, but everybody else is able to deal with it, so he's going to have to be able to do so. But he's got bad holds. It seemed like there was a double clutch, too, so the timing is off completely. You got Okafor jumping over a dude because the offensive lineman lunged, which you can't do, literally can't do. Offensive line in a field goal is the worst position in sports. All of sport. All of them. Every single sport. Offensive line, field goal rep, the worst by far. You're actually taught to die slowly. Hey, go and die. Need you to do it at a slow fashion.
That's right.
This ball's going to get off 1.3 seconds, okay, from snap to kick, which is incredibly fast if you think about it. But you need to hang on for what? 1.4 seconds. So for 1.4 seconds, you need to plant your foot down, plant your back foot down. You need to lift up your face, and you need to just eat it. And we expect you to do that maybe for 1 point, maybe for 3 points. And if you accidentally just lunge a little bit, the D-line knows, boom, they shed you very quickly, and bang, we're in blocking that thing. It's a lot that happens. Offensive line position stinks regardless. As a life, you're getting beat up, you get no credit, that whole thing. But in the field goal thing, it's terrible. Anyways, guy lunged, clearly. Okafor gets in there and blocks that thing. You could see him. I mean, look, just look from left to right. You can see the person that potentially either tripped, fell, or lost their leverage. It's very obvious where it's at. Okafor comes through there, jumps, blocks it. But let's also assume that if that's a clean hold with a clean laces, Crosby either gets it up or around him quicker or whatever the case is. The whole operation is fucking everything. And they need to figure it out. They'll figure it out. I hope they'll figure it out. But Patrick Mahomes needed all that shit to beat that Packers team, which gets back to the Patrick Mahomes conversation of what the fuck is going on over there in Kansas City.
Well, and also not just that. I mean, the Packers, you muff one punt, you cause another one. The Chiefs get it in the red zone, hold them to a field goal there. Like, there was no reason that, and I don't know what I really expected going into the game. Like, I really did think the Packers could potentially win, but I mean, the Chiefs they look terrible. They really do. And I do think it's just like you talked about it a couple weeks ago. Like, Mahomes' energy just feels different.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of turned it on a little bit when he got that, the conversion, the first down to end the game pretty much. He gave like a huge fist pump, but up until that, like, he's just bombing balls way over Tyreek Hill's head. He's high.
Yeah, how about him
Kelce,
missing Tyreek?
Couple times.
Numerous times.
Several times. Like, his energy just feels way different than it ever has before.
I wonder if Patrick Mahomes ever thinks, I wish Usain Bolt was out there. He's a little faster.
Tyreek's a little too slow for him this year.
You think that, like, as he's overthrown, never was able to overthrow Tyreek before. What's going on?
Lose a step?
Or is Patrick just closing his eyes and hucking right now and hoping that everything happens? It seems like that's the case. Let's bring in the sidebar because there's a lot more that we need to chit-chat about. We're a big-time show. Hey. Hey! You see the motion graphics, dude?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh?
Pretty good.
All the people attacking my credibility of journalism. You got these motion graphics, bro?
Do you?
Let me know. You got these motion graphics, dude? I was taking a little bit. There were not as many as I thought there was going to be. There are some people, a rather significant amount of people that texted me that potentially are in either this life or others that are around this type of profession.
Sure.
You did everything good, bub.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Have a good one. I had some people tell me that I should potentially reach out to people on how to navigate these waters, though. Probably told that person out.
Yeah.
I'm the fucking skipper of the ship. All right, if I need to navigate the waters, I'll figure it out. And by the way, if thing goes down, guess what? Fucking great ride.
Go down with the ship.
This thing has been a great ride.
Sure.
And hopefully they'll be playing the music while it's going down. The fucking violinist and the pianist will be doing their entire thing, hopefully. But
cello.
Who could navigate these waters? Who? Somebody tell me who could navigate the waters of the real world in the sports world with people that are talking about shit that's 7,000 miles over your head.
Yeah.
Tell me who. I would like to know who.
Hezbollah.
You're right.
Bullah.
Okay. Other than Hezbollah, who I think is probably a little bit busy.
Yeah.
Always.
Right. Training for a fight.
Yeah.
Dr. Florio.
See,
Doc.
I was being serious, dude.
Florio though. Hey, he has brought up a lot of I feel like, does he think for the NFL? You think?
I think he tries to.
No, he does. I mean, he paints a lot of pictures out there, though.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they would have to at least somewhat be on board with it because he's doing football
NBC.
night in America. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. I mean, Aaron's getting it on the shins.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere.
Big time.
I got some people that texted me and told me I was a bad person for even letting Aaron on there because Aaron just committed career suicide.
Oh, come on.
I said, he can't play football anymore?
Yeah.
I said, he can't play football anymore? Well, that company did drop him, the health company.
Yeah,
I
health
saw
one,
that.
Yep.
Partners for 9 years.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good run.
should we have him? I don't know how Aaron, we'll ask him. He'll be on tomorrow.
We'll ask him.
What state?
A lot of people tell me she's not coming on tomorrow, too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because because I allowed him to do what he did, which inevitably ended up with people tweeting him mean things.
Huh. Well, if they allowed him to do what he did in the first place, then maybe we wouldn't be in this situation.
Well, also I don't know, Terry Bradshaw's pissed. Dude. Terry Bradshaw is pissed. Terry Bradshaw, they say, hey, you know what? Old honest Terry. That's what they say. Old honest Terry.
TB12.
The original TB12.
Never told a lie.
He's at an axe to grind for Rodgers for a while now. So this was, I'm sure he was just licking his lips
It
all
was
weekend.
Awesome. It was, and people hey, I enjoy all that. I view life as, and which, by the way, adds to the case that if you expected me to be the one reciting stats about the real world, which I openly try to stay out of because I think it's just a much more enjoyable life. But Terry at the Naval Academy, cutting a promo about that. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, the home of the
promo.
honor code.
What a moment. What a moment. I laughed so hard. Yeah. We'll ask Aaron about it. I don't know if he'll have a direct response to the promo that Terry cut on him. Terry was, he was trending.
Oh, yeah. For a while.
All right, Terry.
I want to say he is not giving away his own money, too. That's a load of shit.
No.
It's obviously not
No.
Terry Bradshaw's money.
No.
He's lying.
No.
He's a fraud. And he needs to be off television and never in Navy Academy again.
It's much different what he did versus what Aaron did, And there was another, the Martin Luther King quote
Yeah.
about standing up against unjust rules or whatever. And, boy, there was a lot of people not happy
Yeah,
about
a lot
that.
of people didn't like that.
Because and once again, we'll ask him tomorrow about it. I think he was, referring to that being a quote that has potentially shaped the way he has handled a lot of things in his, I think if you go through how he has potentially operated, especially even in the way he's navigated with medias and how, he has been a little bit of we'll have to ask him about it though, because that is quite a drastic measurement to take. But I'm assuming he was referencing how that has shaped his beliefs as opposed to this particular case here. But I could be wrong.
We'll find out.
I could be wrong. And I hope that that's not the case because, boy, that was also trigger spot on the internet this weekend.
And it also makes sense why he wouldn't want to be the poster boy, like you said, after the entire offseason, too. It's like, does he want to bring this to the table now after all of that and be the guy that everyone's going to talk about being, that's the unvaccinated quarterback. He's hurting his team even more now. Do they even like him?
You're standing up for a fucking liar, dude.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that.
You know what? That's my truth.
Well,
I became a bigger fan of Rodgers on Saturday, I'll be honest.
on Saturday?
Oh, yeah, after the whole thing and kind of processing everything, what people are saying, it was like, yeah, I mean, he's basically said you should do what's best for you.
Yeah, the bodily autonomy thing did not make its way into a lot of conversations.
No.
I don't know how. I think it's potentially because, the way things were clipped. We're on every channel.
Oh, yeah.
They're giving a lot of credit to SiriusXM over there on all those places.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That is interesting.
Same places that didn't ask for,
It's all right. Hey, do what you got to do. We're lucky to be adding to the conversation. We are happy that at least some of Aaron's words were able to be heard in response to what's being said. If you don't agree with them, hey, that's cool. We're happy to be a part of it. This show's not owned by SiriusXM though. Let's make sure that is
Known.
very fucking what are we doing here? That's what I think I hate the most because I am a stooge. Okay,
Sports douche.
but I won't walk into rooms. I mean, I kind of did, I guess. Well, Aaron walked into our room and did the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you're already in here.
But I'm okay, not speaking about what I don't know.
Yeah.
And this is a very interesting thing to say as somebody who does a daily show and the show's named after me and all that shit. Tried to change that, actually. People don't. I actually tried to change that to the afternoon show. But then I was told that, no, actually, there's a lot of people that listen in the morning, that whole thing. I don't, need the attention. Okay? So I think a lot of people potentially dive into shit that they don't know about just because, hey, this is something that'll garner at least a little bit. I'm okay with the attention. Hey, if I have it, cool. I'm okay with it. But I don't need to speak on shit that I don't know. And I think that was not, really thought about much by a lot of the people that were potentially asking me why I wasn't a better journalist out there on Friday. It's like, I don't fucking know, dude. This guy just told me he had a 500-page fucking... The guy I'm talking to right now had a 500-page report. Did I do it? I didn't fucking do that. What do you want me... What if I start asking these questions and Aaron goes to page 160? That'd be nowhere near the end of the report, by the way. 160 pages in is longer than 3 of the 8 Aaron Rodgers book club. 160 pages in is nowhere near the end of that report that he had presented. Imagine if I asked, and he goes... Well, on page 60 here, Pat, actually, clause 45, it says, blah, blah. Is that what people, you have to listen to the entire conversation to really get it, I think? That was a fascinating situation. And it's the entire world kind of coming down on one thing. It's insanity.
And we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's going to slow down anytime soon. Hopefully that if he comes back, I mean, especially if for whatever reason, if he were to miss this next Sunday game again, then it'll be right back at a boiling point.
This thing, there's a shirtless man at the end of this book.
Yeah, that's Ram Dass.
Doesn't count
This
as
is Ram
pages.
Dass.
I believe that's Ram Dass.
Really?
Yeah, it also might be Ram Dass's teacher. I forget which one that is.
Oh, jeez. There's no pages on it. This one is, The Giver, is 200 and... I mean, take it
Ball
easy,
down.
dude. Jesus. 225 pages.
Okay, quick read.
Double it.
Yeah, 2 of these books is how... Plus a couple more.
But yeah.
That's how big the report is. How come Joe Rogan, the consultant, was obviously a big conversation piece? Because Dr. Joe Rogan,
Joe's Joe.
as soon as he mentioned his name,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, this is going to... How come the 500-page report wasn't talked about? And I feel like, ask about what he was doing and what the methods were, and he said he didn't want to talk about it. I think he said that because I'm not going to be the fucking expert on this thing. Just like he didn't want to be the goddamn anti-vax guy, but now I'm an apologist for Aaron Rodgers.
Well, maybe that should be his fucking book this week.
Well, I did text him and asked that if the 500-page report could be the next installment.
Publish it.
What if it was like his manifest?
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to football. The Titans' resume is insane.
Yeah,
Very good.
Well, I wonder what all we're going to talk to Aaron about tomorrow, though. You know what I mean?
should be interesting.
What was he watching?
I have
this
so many
weekend?
questions now.
What shows are we doing right now, you know?
No, shows. I'm not worried about the shows. I wonder, like, he has to hate everybody right now, right?
Yeah, I would imagine.
So is he going to go on and, I mean, are we about to see the absolute best Aaron Rodgers in the history of Aaron Rodgers? Because everybody knows, like, a spurned Aaron Rodgers is probably the best Aaron Rodgers, and now the whole world, not the whole world, there is a lot of, hey, Aaron's our guy too happening, which that's not being talked about. I don't think a lot out there, which, hey, you guys are going to have to just observe and report how that whole thing goes. Not me. You guys keep closer poll on how that whole thing goes. But it feels like there's a lot of hate coming from a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to throw for fucking 400, 500.
I mean, Scorched Earth Rodgers is the best Rodgers, so we'll see. We'll see. Especially after how they looked yesterday with him not being there. I think he's going to have a lot of fuel.
Hey, let's talk about a team that's potentially back.
Oh, yeah.
The New England Patriots do not stink.
No, they don't.
And, I mean, Connor's obviously been beating the no bull drum for a long time
Long time.
He's got no bull shoes on, which are Toms with a little bit thicker bottom.
With no bullshit.
No bullshit.
That's right.
No bullshit, though. Those are Toms with the original waffle rubber that Phil Knight had for Nike.
Yep.
And those things right on the bottom of those. And they've been able to withstand a lot, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, no bullshit. Good shoes you got
I've
there.
been moving faster. I've been jumping higher. I've been doing everything better since
Have
I've
you
gotten
been
these
putting
shoes.
people in ankle locks like
Yeah,
Kurt Angle?
scumbag.
It depends.
Ken
Shamrock?
I mean, I wish if I had the opportunity to, you know, that rivalry goes back a long, long time. So who knows what the past beef is between old Brian Burns and Mac Jones.
And what we're talking about is the fact that Connor has Mac Jones shoes on and a Bill Belichick shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
He has a Patriots, obviously, Bledsoe thing in front of him, and he does love the Pets. Okay? Last year when Tom Brady was in the Super Bowl, he said, happy for Tom.
Yeah.
Because of how much Tom brought to the Patriots. But Connor has been banging the drum for a long time that they had one down year.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they spent $153 million in one day in the tampering period, guaranteed money. And Connor said, you think Bill Belichick spends $153 million, drafts a quarterback in the first round, has a losing season, and doesn't bounce back? This is the drum you've been banging for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, watching games with you, there are certain times in games where you think they're completely dead, like you're the epitome of Yinzer guy, watching the Patriots. But you have to be sitting here at this point. After Gilmore, who got run out of the building.
Whoa.
Run out of building in the
Whoa.
New England Patriots. I mean, that whole story's going to have to come. It's Overreaction Monday. Let's remember that.
Sure.
We got treated accordingly. He got kicked out.
Yeah.
He has a pick in every single game for the Panthers. Last week covered Pitts. This week got another one. I mean, he is a guy, but it feels like the Patriots are back in it with the Bills doing what the Bills did against the Jags. And the Dolphins get a win over the Texans, but Tua didn't play.
Yeah.
Jets. But it feels like the Patriots are now right back to being what they've always been in the AFC East. And to your credit, you knew it all along.
Yeah, of course I did. I mean, this is Bill Belichick we're talking about. And for a while, the whole conversation was it was Brady. And we've talked about how it's incredible that two of the most competitive people of all time were able to last that long. Bill was going to do everything, put all his chips on the table like he has this offseason and this year. And now with the defense coming along, the run game that they have, they've rushed for like 120 yards in the last 5+ weeks. So it's really everything's there. And then who knows, you know, Odell Beckham, he's out there. Mac Jones is a pretty accurate quarterback. Maybe we add another piece and really take a shot at this thing because the AFC is wide open aside from Tennessee. Who knows what's going to happen in that whole entire conference?
The Titans are obviously absurd
Yeah.
and insane, and the Colts are heating up, and who knows
Right.
what's going on with Patrick.
Hang and
But
wait.
Mac Jones seems to be the perfect guy for New England, especially because I think he gets very pissed off during games.
Oh, yeah.
He seems like he can handle getting yelled at, coached hard, which is, by the way, the Tom Brady. Didn't have a great photo, the Tom Brady thing.
Yeah.
He seems to be wildly accurate and has moxie and confidence in the locker room. Seems like you guys did pluck the perfect quarterback for the New England Patriots organization as it is right now. Although the NFL is changing completely, and there's, you know, you guys had that with Cam Newton last year with quarterback running. It feels like Bill and Josh and probably Ernie, even though he's sitting at home, and old Crafty, who called Bill the biggest asshole of his life.
Of course.
They understood, hey, what do we have success at? We need a quarterback that's mentally tough, physically tough, and can throw the ball well. They got Mac Jones.
Yeah.
What I bet you they didn't expect is they got a scumbag.
Well, I don't know.
They got a scumbag.
I don't know if I go
there's
that
an
far.
update. The Arrow, Tom Pelissero, has an update on Mac Jones literally taking somebody's ankle and Ken Shamrocking it. The NFL will review Patriots quarterback Mac Jones grabbing Brian Burns' ankle Sunday as part of its normal process, I'm told. Jones faces a possible fine, but nothing more than that. Okay, so that's much less of an update than I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, expected. And plus, who cares? You know, I've seen the play. I saw what happened. I don't give a shit. That's Mac Jones, baby. Who cares if he's twisting ankles? It doesn't matter. We're winning football games. That's the only thing that matters.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And that's why I said, by the way, it seems like he's the perfect guy for New England.
Yeah.
And I like to be known that aside from potentially breaking this guy's ankle,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think Mac Jones knew he was going to turn in the way that he did whenever he put his legs and wrapped them like a boa constrictor around his other leg, entrapped his body to be contorted in a fashion in which his ankle's potentially going to break. I don't think Mac Jones put that all together in his head while it was happening.
He thought he had the ball. I mean, he's trying to make a tackle. Give the guy a break.
He got hit, strip sack, he attacks, breaks a guy's ankle. Yeah. He'll get fined for it and move on, but it seems like Mac Jones is the right guy up there. And congrats to your Patriots.
Yeah, hey, here we go. We're back.
Now that the world's opening back up, so many new thrills are on the horizon.
Okay.
And whether you've been in a relationship for years or just getting started, we're excited to get back out there and meet new people.
Hell yeah.
When the moment comes, let's not come too quick.
Oh, here we go.
That is not what they had in their copy.
Okay.
They should.
That was, I think they're going in a different direction, so let's go back a sentence or two.
Okay.
When the moment comes, you want to be ready.
That's true.
Yeah.
With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. Once you take care of that, though, you get the Roman swipes, and guess what?
Lasts a long time.
Banging it.
Yeah, it's Pete Alonso at the at the home run derby.
That's right.
Dingers.
Downtown.
Bingo.
David
Population, you, dude.
Hell yeah.
Roman Ready equals confidence. The confidence that you know you can rise to the occasion in the moment. We're looking at the Summer of Love 2021 version, and Roman wants to make sure you can participate in your way. Whether that be as a single person or a couple who would still rather stay in with each other, a U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you for free with 2-day shipping.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's huge.
Free?
The shipping's free.
Wow.
I believe, not the
medication.
Free
No.
2-day shipping.
Yeah.
Go to GetRoman.com/McAfee today, and if you're prescribed, you can get 50% off your first month of ED treatment.
Okay.
That's GETROMAN.com/MCAFEE. And if you're prescribed, you can get 50% off your first month of erectile dysfunction treatment. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this summer. Roman Ready. What happened yesterday, none of us could have expected. And the man we're about to bring into this particular show is a man that we bring in normally whenever he's not hoity-toiting around.
Right.
Yeah.
Highbrowing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pinky pointing. He joins us, and he is normally a man that is a rather solid prognosticator for what's going to happen in the games.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate to break it to him because he definitely does not know this, but he and I tied exactly. And we lost a lot more than we won. Ladies and gentlemen, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hall.
Yeah!
4-8, both of us, dude. We stink.
4-8. Hey, that's actually better than I thought. I thought there was a chance I was going to get shut out for a while.
Hey, me too, because that's what my FanDuel account was this morning. You know, my FanDuel account was shut out this morning. It had $0.00 in it. It was nice to take a trip back to like weeks 1 through 3.
Yeah.
You know, that's what Overreaction Monday was for the first couple weeks. Now we're right back at it. And I would like to say, because I'm an intelligent human, I'm not scared to cash out money that I put in. I'm not scared to take a little bit more so I could say, hey, I actually won this thing. Now, a lot of people feel like money on sports books accounts and chips on blackjack tables or in casinos are just play, and the game ends whenever you lose all the money. Do not be scared to take those chips right off of the roulette table, right off of the craps little setup thing, right off of the, and fucking walk right. Who cares if you got 3 more hours you're supposed to be there? You won. Don't be scared to take your money. I do the same thing with my FanDuel account. But in this particular case, I could not do that on Monday because there's $0. We fucking stunk, AJ, and it's not our fault. Things happen that we could have never fathomed. Now, it would have made sense if Jordan Love would have won yesterday with the Packers, with how the entire day went, with the upsets and the blowouts and the no-shows and the who's that and how's this whole thing going. But your takeaway from yesterday's slate of games is what, AJ? What an insane day to remember that we don't know shit about fuck ever.
I think this week showed it. I think my biggest takeaways from this past football week, probably were that Adrian Peterson turned down Dancing with the Stars and Josh Allen sacked Josh Allen.
He texted me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's all I really heard. I didn't really hear much else.
Well, not just sacked, picked, and forced fumble Josh Allen.
Hell of a game. Awesome game for Josh Allen with the Jags. Awesome game.
Yeah, absolutely. What a moment.
Yeah, Josh.
Hey,
I don't know if we have to act like someone just split the atom and it's the craziest thing I've ever seen, but it's all right.
Well, whoa. I mean,
who was acting like that?
It's a scoregami.
Everybody on the planet. What do you mean? I can't stick this to one person. Like, I'm like, what is something wrong with me? Like, why am I not losing my mind, jumping off the roof in excitement because something like this happened?
Yeah, and I didn't understand fully the excitement, but it's an anomaly. It never happened. Hey, Josh.
First
Hey,
time.
Josh.
That's cool. You're right. It's cool.
Same pick in the draft.
But with that being said, it is a big day because Urban Meyer, founder of the Urban Chop House, which was obviously subject of a lot of conversation over the last few weeks. He has won his first NFL game as a head coach in the United States of America over Josh Allen from the Bills and the Bills.
Woo! In a barn burner, 9-6. What a battle it was, and we saw Urban's his biggest smile, no question, as an NFL coach, right?
Well, I seen his biggest smile elsewhere. But say what you wanted to say about it being 9-6 and being a soccer score. Say it.
No, I'm not going to say it was a cagey match.
It was. It was very cagey.
It was weird. It kind of went. It set the tone for the whole weekend, I feel like.
And yeah, I agree. And also the Cowboys and Broncos, which we will definitely talk about. But whenever you talk about the Bills only scoring 6, what the fuck happened there? Like, how's that even happened? Is it a scheme thing? Is it an execution thing, do you think? Do you think Jacksonville just had their number, or is it just a fluke day and that we should never remember or talk about?
I mean, you can remember it and talk about it. I think the Bills should look at that and remember it down the road. Like, hey, we don't want to let this happen again, whether they, overlooked them, mailed it in a little bit. I know Dak made some comments about that coming off their big emotional win. There can be a little bit of a letdown the following week. That may have happened for the Cowboys. But for the Bills, I don't know. I would just chalk it up like, hey, man, if people play golf and there's a 20-foot putt, and it's a scramble, and everybody tries to putt it, and then you're cheating. You're like, hey, we're gonna get an eagle here. We're gonna make this sucker. So you claim that you bought all the mulligans. Hey, I bought 2 arm lengths worth of mulligans. We get as many as we want, and you putt it 25 times with 5 different people, and nobody makes it. A lot of times I'm like, oh, this putt's not meant to be, guys. Like, maybe for the Bills, they weren't meant to win that game.
So it takes you 25 attempts to realize that this one's maybe not for us after
maybe not 25,
cheating
but
charities,
maybe 9
20 mulligans, at least 21 mulligans. You're probably cheating a charity out of.
I'm not cheating. No, that's actually giving more money to the charity because I'm buying all these mulligans. But you can't.
No, you claim you had them.
Well, yeah, of course. Hey, got both arm lengths, guys. They tell you buy 2 arm lengths worth of tickets, you get all these mulligans and stuff, and then I'll go give the money afterwards and say, hey, we still didn't make the putt, bud, and we putted it 27 times.
Oh, so you say what you do in the dark will come to the light. We cheated for sure, but at least I can go just pay it off.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing that, hey, whatever we put, we're going to give you probably double that in what it would cost to buy these mulligans.
Man,
but
what a guy.
None of us
This guy pays double to cheat.
What a hero.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
That's a long way to say I don't think that game was meant to be for
I can see
and,
that.
and flush that sucker. Flush it. Don't worry about it.
Bury
Hopefully, and let's keep moving on.
DC.
Bury it like the Lions did. Bury it like the Lions buried the film. By the way, the Lions did lose this weekend. During their bye week. First time bye has won this season.
This would have been the week the Lions would have won. Of course, it's on their bye week.
Yeah, it would have
Stafford
been.
With how
represented them
everything
yesterday
went.
pretty well.
Wow,
so.
yeah, Stafford did do some Lions-like stuff here for the Rams, so shout out to Detroit getting a chance to enjoy at least a little bit of their own brand of football on primetime television, which doesn't happen often. But the Bills lose, okay, we'll rule that thing out. How about the Cowboys? 30-zip, 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Dak had only thrown for like 102 yards at that point. Kellen Moore's offense has been very efficient no matter who's in there. How does this take place, you think, against a Denver Broncos team that I think by all accounts, we all have said they stink. So what happened down in Jerry World, in Dallas? They're able to walk out of there with a blowout victory after shipping their best player out of town. AJ, the NFL makes no sense at all, dude.
It really doesn't make any sense. I guess it just shows you, like, I mean, how crazy the league is, how many great players there really are. And some teams look like, oh, this team's terrible. But guess what? If it's a terrible team, there's a ton of really good players on that team. Not a ton, but there's a good handful of really, really, really good players on that team. And for whatever reason, they can't put it together. Whether it's, hey, we don't have a quarterback, we don't have an O-line, all of that.
Everybody's on scholarship. That's kind of the old, hey, like you can get got any given Sunday.
That's right.
Just like a lot of teams got it yesterday, but there's always good football players in the NFL. That's the way it goes. But you can run into a buzzsaw out of nowhere. I remember we were like rolling, humming, and then we played against somebody and they killed. It might have been the Jags. They just out of nowhere killed us. It was like, what just happened? And then the coaches love it. You know, coaches absolutely love it because Big Mike McCarthy right now is talking about, you guys roll a ball out there and get fucking embarrassed. You know what I mean? We got to put in all the, like, it gives coaches so much ammunition, so much. But as players, I think you would probably understand this much more than I would because honestly, when I went on the field, the only interactions I really had was either a what's up, hey, what's going on? Hey, your Twitter's awesome. Oh, that's very nice of you. Your Twitter stinks. All right, fuck you. Like, there wasn't any, like, real interaction on who's a good player. You know, like, I wouldn't know if I could get got on every single play. I could hit a miss every single punt, so I'd have to show up. But I'd assume when you play in the NFL, you realize quickly, like, oh, there's a lot of parity in this league. And there is a chance you can get got by anybody. And I think the Broncos did that to the Dallas Cowboys, who were being heralded as the best team in the NFL last week. Dak comes back, they fucking get blown out.
So when do these power rankings normally come out that people put out?
Well, Dan Zeus will go out tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Dan Zeus will go out. And I think we actually got Dan Zeus's co-host coming on.
Yeah,
the show.
Matt Money Smith.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, Dan Zeus is the authority.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And then everybody else kind of sets theirs after.
What's his name again?
Dan Zeus.
Come on, you know.
His full name is just Danzis?
Yep.
Dan, and last name Z-U-S. Zeus.
Okay. I was curious.
Like Tiger.
Zeus Greek, Z-E-U-S.
Like Tiger? What?
Danzers.
Oh, yeah, we put it together.
Tiger.
Yeah. His last name's not Zeus.
No.
His name is Dan Hanzeus, but obviously Dan Zeus is what he is affectionately known as.
All right.
I didn't know
So this is what I'm talking about. I assume I seen his name on a graphic, and then
Short it down to Dan
and
Zeus.
then we just rolled with it. It's like the Mandela.
Yeah, the Mandela effect.
Mandela. In my head, his name was actually Dan Zeus.
The Barbara Streisand effect.
Make no mistake, it is
What?
a term of endearment.
What the hell are you talking
Anyways,
I don't think that applies here, but that's the thing, yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I do
Don't
know
worry about
Dan Zeus is coming on. No, Dan Zeus is
No,
not
Matt
coming
Money
on.
Smith is
Matt
coming
Money
on.
Smith is coming on this week. His rankings come out earlier than everybody else's. Everybody else comes out on Wednesday. I will be intrigued to see how much these games where teams did not look like themselves at all will affect the rankings of Dan Zeus and the 81 people that do it at ESPN. Because what are your thoughts on the Chiefs? Chiefs continue to win. Continue to win. But the conversation is, Patrick Mahomes stinks this year. He don't have a clue. They don't know what they're doing. The defense, I guess, had a massive day, but was that against Jordan Love or was that against a great Packers offense? Is that against a Matt LaFleur-led offense that has been very successful against everybody? How do you judge the Chiefs after that game? I don't think anybody knows.
It's really tough because they did have a lot of zero blitzes. I know LaFleur talked about it afterwards. He tried to put all the blame on himself. We need a better plan against these zero. And I think, was it Troy Aikman? Was it Troy and Joe on the game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Terry.
So they did it. And Terry.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw.
Terry McCauley.
Bradshaw, TB12.
Yeah.
And Terry McAuley was on NBC. He gave an entire thing, but Terry Bradshaw, I think, was with Joe and Troy. He was trending through that entire.
Early on he was. But Troy did a good job of talking about it. He's like, do you think you would see this one-on-one coverage with Devontae Adams if Aaron Rodgers was out here? Like, no, you wouldn't. Like, that's a dream. No matter what the play is, if Aaron sees that, he's throwing it up to Devontae. No question. It's
fascinating because Jordan Love, obviously, has been compared to Aaron fucking Rodgers his entire NFL career. Like, that is what he's being compared to. It's not his fault. He was just hanging out at home. Remember draft night? Uh-huh. He was on that very nice couch with his family. Mm-hmm. He's just sitting there, and all of a sudden, the Packers trade up in the first round. I thought they traded. I was wrong on Twitter yesterday. I thought they didn't have a first-round pick. I thought they had an early second, and they traded up into the first round. I was wrong completely. But they trade up in the first round, just a couple months removed from giving up like 180 yards before contact in the NFC Championship game, seeing what everybody else is doing, adding weapons everywhere. They trade up in the first round to draft this guy who's sitting at home in a very nice house with his family, about to experience his dream come true. And the immediate reaction is, what the fuck is this guy getting drafted to this team for?
Yeah.
So literally, Jordan Love's first moments of his NFL life after he was drafted, probably fun. When he put the hat on, he got interviewed. I get to learn from Aaron. This is awesome. His family's there. And then he opened his phone or whatever, probably hit the Bird, the Bird app. And all of a sudden it's, this guy can't hold Aaron Rodgers' fucking jockstrap. What the fuck are we doing here? This is a project, but you're built to win right now. You're in a position to win right now. Why would you do this? Then videos surface of Jordan Love not doing great in a accuracy net drill. Those things hit the internet, and then the narrative gets even louder and louder. And then everything that happened with Aaron and Gutekunst and Murphy and the entire Green Bay Packers organization, then it got louder. This dude has been compared to, by all accounts, basically, the greatest football thrower in the history of throwing footballs his entire career. So it is not fair. We need to let everybody know that it is not fair. But after watching Jordan yesterday, an experience will maybe make him a better player. So he probably is in a project and needs a couple years or whatever the case is, even though he sat behind Aaron for over a year and a half now at this point. And Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for 1 year, played in the last game when the Chiefs were already in, beat the Broncos in Denver, and in practice everybody was like, hey, this guy's a fucking guy. Not that, once again, I'd be comparing Jordan Love to Patrick Mahomes, but I don't know what people, are trying to compare him to, with them making a reasonable pick and deciding to pick Jordan Love over anybody else. Once again, not fair to Jordan Love. But you watch Jordan Love and you go, okay, experience is going to make him better. Maybe he will be a guy. But this team's going to need Aaron Rodgers. And not just for this year. It looks like it could potentially be a little bit, especially in Green Bay, Wisconsin, that isn't a free agent destination, assuming without Aaron Rodgers. I assume it was an eye-opening experience, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's something that we've kind of known all along. Like, that's fine. Yeah, he is a rookie. That was his first start. Like, you didn't expect him
red shirt.
Yeah, red shirt. You didn't necessarily expect him to light the world on fire, but we've mentioned it. Like, they're built to win right now, and there is a possibility that he becomes that guy and he's great. But what if he becomes a starter next year, they lose some of these pieces, and then they stink for the next 2 years? Like, what does that do for his confidence?
And what happens if Jordan Love gets that win last night somehow, with how the defense was able to stop Patrick Mahomes in that offense, even after special teams blunder after special teams blunder after special teams blunder, with all the fuckery in the special teams?
They absolutely should have won. They
should
have won the game. Just no matter, you could keep Jordan Love playing exactly like he did if special teams would have taken care of business. Their defense played great. I feel like they should have won.
Yeah, and they had a chance to score and actually take the lead, or they would have been able to take the lead through a pick, but that's in the red zone. I mean, there was moments there where, what if the Packers win? What's the conversation this morning? I wonder, especially with what happened on Friday, even with how it looked. The conversation would be hysterical, and that goes back to the conversation of what the fuck is going on with the Chiefs? Like, how, you know what I mean? Like, this is not a knock on the Green Bay Packers defense, which looked unbelievable. It is a knock on the special teams, the way they performed. Mm-hmm. Snapper needs to tighten up, by the way.
Yeah. Figure it out.
Mason Crosby, they're trying to run his ass out of town. I think if you were to go back and watch the film, I'm not sure, but the people who do watch the film have decided to keep Mason Crosby through a lot because Mason Crosby's an unbelievable kicker. But that year where J.K. was a rookie and he was holding for him, I was going to talk about it in the Packers-Lions game, Week 17, because I got access to the film and watch it. The ball's spinning like every time he kicks it. Now, granted, hey, make the fucking kick, dude. All right, you're getting paid, I guess. But he is not being set up in the same position as other people. Normally when he misses, there's an operational issue. That's why he's so gray and still there. Okay, that is Mason Crosby, who's a stud. But the operation obviously let him down. There's 6 more points on the board right there.
Yeah.
Let alone the extra. I mean, there is a lot of stuff that could have went differently. And if the Packers win this game, what's the conversation today? That's all I can ask. The Patrick Mahomes thing would be loud.
Yeah, I think that would be the big takeaway because a lot of people were saying, like, statistically, Love outplayed Mahomes. Like, when you just look at the statistics, and if you watch the game, I don't think that's necessarily true. But again, like,
this is not a direct screenshot from a bad phone on a TV. No. Shut up.
But I think if the Packers win, like, that is what everyone's talking about today. Is like, hey, Mahomes stinks this year.
What's that all about, AJ? You think
I have no idea. I don't get it. I when I was watching live, because everyone, I feel like, I don't know, are people fans of Patrick Mahomes? I am. I want to see him do well. I want to see him get back to the magic he has.
He turned heel, dude.
Because of
his family.
But the last play of the game, I was like, I'm grasping anything. That was legit Patrick Mahomes. Unbelievable play. He was super juiced, went crazy. I was thinking, all right, let's roll that momentum right down the road. Let's keep it moving till next week. Maybe you can take from that. You saw how excited he was. I was like, oh, man. And even his head, he's like, here we go. Now I'm back.
Remember, Aaron said last week it will only take one play to potentially get you out or one play to potentially get you in a funk. Maybe that game-winning third and...
It was like 3rd and 10, I think.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, yeah. Maybe that was it. Maybe that
was
the play.
Escape the pocket, running for his life, threw that beautiful ball. Boom, game over.
Now, they're breaking down a lot of stuff on what decisions he's making and where he should be going. And I wonder if it's a completion like they have been in the past. None of the decision-making conversation is in there anymore because Patrick Mahomes has been doing things that decision-makers don't want them to. He's left-handed. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Patrick Mahomes has made a living off of not making the decision that a lot of people would make because of his talent. Now that they're not hitting, the technique is getting broken down. The decision-making is getting broken down. But just like winning does to an organization, a couple completions change that entire narrative very quickly. Like, oh, he's back. Oh, he threw it into double coverage. Oh, yeah, but Tyreek Hill's there. Yeah. He got it. Travis Kelce was able to do that. Like, I think all these same potential conversations could have. Now, I should have watched more film. So it's not an absolute, and that's why I always say potentially, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm acting as if, this is a matter of fact, because I'm not 100% sure. I'm just hypothesizing the case that if you were to go back to during Patrick Mahomes' great run, I would assume there is some potential film that you could bring out and go, this was a terrible decision, but it worked out. This was a terrible decision, but it worked out. Oh, his technique is terrible. They've actually talked about him being able to stand and throw like this, but it worked out. The only thing that matters is if plays are being made, and as soon as that happens, all the other shit kind of gets thrown away, and hopefully he will become back to being the guy that we all love to watch, especially because he likes ketchup, which makes me like him even more. Yeah. Pittsburgh, Heinz ketchup. If you eat any other ketchup, you're an absolute stooge.
Hunt stinks.
That's what he eats, though. So.
Oh, yeah, because the owner, right?
Yeah. But he's also, like, to your point, like, he's missing guys even short. Like, there was one, like, 3rd down where he hit Kelce, like, a little bit behind instead of right in the bucket where he was expecting it. So it's like, even some of the little things he's kind of screwing up that he hasn't before.
Speaking of the little things, Jordan Love on a Devontae across, and Troy, I think Troy said, if he leads him here, this is probably out and about. It's like, how about like Aaron would, right? Like that's where the difference is between the two guys. And that's like, Dak Prescott's one of those guys too. What the fuck?
Why?
Hey, they stink, dude. They absolutely stink. But let's get to a team that doesn't. Cleveland Browns might be better with no OBJ.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whew. For whatever reason, okay? I'm not saying it's because OBJ is the problem with Shalom, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that's the case. But for whatever reason, sometimes when you remove something's presence, everybody else can gel and do much better together. For whatever reason. We saw it last year, and now I always said they were just learning Stefanski's offense. So by the end of the season, Baker probably had a much better grip of it. The rest of the team probably had a much better grip of it. They were able to do more. That's why they went on to win. But everybody said, no. When OBJ was on the field, they weren't good. He gets hurt. All of a sudden, the Browns going to run. The offense looks much better than it's ever looked. They go win a playoff game in Pittsburgh against Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, with how good that offense is, you bring a dynamic player like OBJ in there, Stefanski will be able to take advantage of it. Here we go. This team's going to go on to greater heights. They were not able to do that for whatever reason. Whether it is in the camp of OBS, that Baker didn't want to throw him the ball, Baker didn't want to have success, Baker didn't want Odell Beckham Jr. to shine, whatever. And I guess Baker came out and said, like, any conversation with Odell would be cool, let alone an apology. So maybe Odell Beckham was ghosting Baker, and Baker didn't like him for whatever reason. They didn't have a connection. The team was better without him. This weekend, in the battle of the river,
Give me a beer.
What is it again?
both these teams are from where? Ohio?
That's right.
I'll tell you what, Jim. The Battle of Ohio, that team looked awesome. They looked inspired. Baker looked like he was having the time of his life. Cincinnati Bengals, that defense, they gave up 400 to Mike White a couple weeks ago. They just gave up a bunch to Baker without OBJ, which I think, once again, they do better somehow. But the Bengals might be dead, and the Browns might be alive. And is it because OBJ's not there anymore, AJ? Is that the reason why?
No, I mean, for whatever reason, they just Odell wasn't gelling with their offense. They didn't seem to have a good connection with Baker. I don't know if you heard Baker's post-game comments were great. He talked about how they're great friends. Haven't talked to him, but yeah, I'm still a great personal friend of him. Like, it was really good to hear him talk about it. You could tell, like, all right, like, yeah, Baker's ready to move on. He's ready to move on and not talk about Odell anymore.
Well, and Baker will. Everybody talks about Aaron being calculated with his words. Baker Mayfield, very calculated as well. Do not get it twisted. What he's saying and the words that are coming out need to be listened to because they have been thought about. He's incredibly clever, obviously, and this weekend had to be a massive fuck you to everybody, which I think was one of my wins, by the way, because I thought to myself, Baker is hey, if he feels slighted or spiked guy, he goes out and plays his best football. Last week seemed like it was a lot of slighting.
Well, they won because of Nick Chubb and their defense,
Right.
though, to be honest. Baker played well, a couple nice deep balls, but they won because Nick Chubb's awesome and their defense played well.
Always have had Nick Chubb, except for the games where he was injured. Obviously, then Darius Johnson came in there. But even when Nick Chubb's on the field, they can't find Odell for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know, like even when now Nick Chubb, he's so powerful. He seems like he has great vision. And if he's even, he's leaving. He's faster than everybody. He is awesome to watch play football. And Andrew Berry knew that. I'm going to build up this offensive line. I'm going to get a tight end and Austin Hooper, who can road grade but also is good. They know that everything goes through the backfield, but it felt like Baker just was better when it wasn't happening. And I think Odell will go somewhere and hopefully have great success and love it and be able to continue to build on his legacy and hopefully turn things around as opposed to what happened in the Giants and the Browns. But Baker Mayfield might be painting himself for a pause. How is he doing this with torn labrum, broken humerus? What if they go out and win
Son of a
this?
bitch.
He's going to get rich off of this.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Have they asked Jarvis about the whole Odell situation? Because him and Odell are very close.
He tweeted something about Odell being a great teammate or something.
Okay.
I forget what it was.
Give Baker a week. He'll we'll see.
Yeah, he is coming. He's coming to town next week, and he's got Bill to deal with, so we'll see what happens.
And he only had 14 completions.
They were
I don't know
efficient.
about that.
They were efficient.
They were fishing.
Hey, they were efficient. They were an efficient 14 completions.
Pick six to start off the game.
No, but
doesn't
Dane
hurt
was
either.
saying, best quarterback in the league this morning. So
Who?
Dane Orslowski was talking about Baker.
He wasn't
No, he
saying
wasn't.
that,
There's no way. Did he
Tony.
really?
He didn't use those exact words, but
Hey, I don't
What'd he
even
say?
know. AJ, I don't even know if you know this. What did he say? Did you hear what he said?
no, I just saw a tweet about.
He said they should, give Baker some credit because if he didn't play well, he'd be getting slaughtered today.
Oh, okay.
Very true. That's a fair point, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's gonna take a team friendly deal and get paid and go laughing, and the Browns are gonna continue to grow. That's what I think.
That'd be
personally.
sweet.
That'd be the move.
How come there's still a thought that a team's going to claim Odell? They have, I guess, until tomorrow to do so because the Browns are officially releasing Odell Beckham Jr. today. How come they didn't add in the in-game bonuses just to make it so big that, I don't understand how that...
Because I think they know if a team claims him, Odell's not going to go.
Yeah, well, that's what they've come out and said. There's going to be problems or something like that, or it's going to be confusing.
Who's going to want? It's true though. If you're a bad team and do you want to claim him and be like, hey, we can turn him around. We know this year we suck, but maybe next year we can sell him that we're going to be really good.
Oh, you tell me, Chop House or MCDC? You think they want? I don't know about MCDC. Sirianni, who's getting flowers. He's getting his flowers.
Yes.
This guy's getting his flowers, and he's getting upset about it. An entire bouquet was thrown on him in Philadelphia.
That's what they do to celebrate. Like my daughter had a dance recital when she was like 5, and you bring her flowers afterwards to say, "Here, great job." Like, isn't that what they wanted to do?
I give this man his flowers.
Yes. Yeah.
In Philadelphia, say, here's your fucking roots and your foundation, and your flowers right here, pal. But yeah, Odell's going to be a free agent. Where's he going to go? Who knows? Allegedly, Seattle is what Florio said last night on Football Night in America is interested. That'd be fascinating.
I did read. I saw. I didn't click on it, but I saw a headline where it said Odell Beckham Jr. wants to go to a playoff contender, and I was like, man, that is unbelievable, earth-shattering news. There, like, shocking that he wants to go to a good team.
Odell Beckham Jr. is looking to be a part of the offense and win a Super Bowl. So if you're one of those teams, that isn't going to do that, we won't show up. So just think about that. It is interesting how this will all pan out because what team will go get a shot?
But the Patriots, man. Would he go to the Patriots?
There has been reports of mutual interest, but...
Well, and Mac Jones would be able to hit him, I assume.
Oh, yeah. That offense?
And Bill Belichick will be able to figure it out. But there has been people that have gone to New England and not worked.
Yes.
That is, everybody talks about all the people that have gone to New England and it has worked. There have been people that it hasn't, and I don't think it's because of personality. It's because of the way the offense is.
Yeah, wide receivers especially, more so than most players. When they do go there, it hasn't worked out, like you said.
Let's talk about another team in the NFL where I think, I think some questions have to be asked. Does Kyle Shanahan stink as a coach?
Oh.
Hey, I mean, I don't think he stinks, but there's definitely some real questions about him as a play caller and a head coach right now.
It is getting loud on the Shanahan is not a good head coach circuit.
Yeah. What's going on? Like, what's the issue?
Matt Nagy has a better winning percentage than fucking Shanahan. And Matt Nagy's on the hottest of hot seats all the time. And then
probably Nagy's agent is pushing that out every single day to people.
I'd assume it's somebody related to the Chicago Bears head coach and Matt Nagy up there. He might be the person that actually told everybody that the offense coordinator is only as good as the head coach allows him to be, which is fascinating. Bring that text back up, though, the tweet back up. Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan were both hired in 2017 to take over struggling NFC West teams. Here's how it's gone. Rams, 68.5% win percentage, fourth best overall. Losing seasons, 0, 3 playoff berths, 1 Super Bowl loss. The 49ers with Shanahan, 44% winning percentage, 19th best. 1 winning season, 1 playoff berth, 1 Super Bowl loss. And there's a bunch of stats that have been coming out about the success of Lynch and Shanahan, minus that 1 year where they went on an incredible run. And now I'd assume Shanahan and Lynch people would come out and say, we're playing with our 4th and 5th quarterbacks a lot of the time. We got kicked out of our stadium last year.
Yeah.
Our stadium actually, the city our stadium is in told us we can't play there because of the COVID protocols. We had to go live in a hotel. Well, speaking of COVID, we got COVID and we got injured on our team. So I think they would want to rule out that particular season or when they don't have Jimmy G. But the stats are alarming, and it's going to get loud, especially when you lose to Colt McCoy and James Conner, who ran wild all over you, brother. I mean, it's getting loud for Shanahan, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's fine. I don't know. Let's say they lose the rest of their games this season. Don't you think they still give Shanahan at least 1 more year?
Oh.
They would have to, right? Because they allowed him.
And Trey Lance, don't they want to see him try to develop Trey Lance?
Yeah.
What about all these rumors coming out, though, that said that Shanahan really wanted Mac Jones the whole time? And
how's that even happen?
Well, now he does because Mac's playing well. Now it's easy to say.
Yeah, hindsight's a beautiful thing for people, for anonymous sources, too, you know? How's it even happen? Because they were both tied at the hip whenever they were at that press conference just a couple days before the draft. And John Lynch said, I mean, in my contract, I guess I am the person that makes the decision, but I would be an idiot if I did not consult with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and somebody of Kyle Shanahan's, pedigree to talk about what quarterback is going to be the quarterback of our future. So is that just all bullshit?
Yeah, and Shanahan also did say in that press conference, like, yeah, we saw the Mac Jones narrative and we decided, yeah, we'll let that run because we were not interested.
So maybe Shanahan stinks.
And what happens if Lance isn't good when he does come and start? Then do you say, all right, Shanahan,
Well,
nice try,
hey,
pal.
Maybe.
Is it a package deal though? If Shanahan goes, do they fire Lynch as well?
Yeah, what is it? They're 17 and what?
19-37, I think, without the Super Bowl year.
In that Super Bowl year, their defense was unbelievable.
Yeah, Bob Saleh's gone.
Yep.
That defense is gone. Bose is still there, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's still a couple pillar pieces.
Fred Warner's still there.
Buckner's gone, though.
Yeah, they traded Buckner out of town, and Buckner came out and said, I wanted to stay here. They told me to get scram.
Yeah.
What is going on in San Fran? But let's talk about what's going on in Phoenix. Cliff Kingsbury, without Kyler Murray, iced out on the sideline. Iced out on the sideline.
Nice
Incredible costume out of Kyler Murray for not playing. He's injured. You got to go on to Colt McCoy, man out of Texas. Go on and hook him once.
Hook 'em.
He's been in the NFL forever. What are they going to do? Are they going to be able to adapt, especially without DeAndre Hopkins? Will they be able to win a game like they were able to do in the past without a head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach? Will they be able to go in and win with all the excuses already built in against a Niners team that got George Kittle back and the team ready to, will they be, hey, this Cardinals team's for real. James Conner, he's a whole different player than he was in Pittsburgh, and maybe Pittsburgh wasn't using him right, but he is. All the glimpses of greatness that we saw in Pittsburgh out of James Conner seems to be happening on a much more regular basis with the Arizona Cardinals. Is it because of the way the offense is structured? Is it because of the way it's going? Who knows? I don't know if anybody cares, but the Cardinals defense showed up. Cardinals offense without MVP candidate, two of them playing, they showed up. This Cardinals team seems to be for real.
I mean, they stole a game. You think, hey, we're out our stud quarterback and our stud number one receiver, and we're playing the Niners. Okay, well, this is going to be an uphill battle. We just got to get through this thing. And they actually played very well, and they beat them. They didn't steal. They beat them. And I think their defense plays physical. They're fun to watch. And going back, Titans, I just wanted to mention, their defense, I don't know how they've played all year, but these guys can tackle. If you watch that game, you see, there's not a whole lot of yak. They tackled Jeffrey Simmons, obviously, at the game of his life, too. Great time to do it. But, man, if their defense can even play 80% of that level that they did last night, they're going to be in good shape.
In Los Angeles on primetime Sunday Night Football, great time to have the game of your life.
Didn't they just seem like they were so physical?
Flying around. I mean, a lot of helmet. It felt like it was a lot of contact, you know? It felt like there was a lot of contact, and it didn't seem like anybody was backing down. Is that something that's new? Is that something
I think it's the at least from what I've seen, it's the best that they've looked this year so far defensively, overall. But I was just more impressed with how they tackled so well at all three levels and how fast they are.
Well, so let's talk about that a little bit. How come that doesn't? Isn't that an effort thing? How come that doesn't show up every single week? You think?
Yeah, I mean, tackling is a huge part of it is effort, but it's also confidence, using your leverage, where your help is, all of that. And they just seem to they had it going from early on in the game, and they just seem to build confidence, I think, as the game went.
You think Vrabel put the helmet on this week in practice and said, "This is what we need to do"?
Oh yeah.
You think he said we need to toughen up?
It would not shock me if Braves. He probably wouldn't even put a helmet on. He would just get in there and be headbutting dudes and throwing hands.
Legend.
Hey, he's awesome, huh?
Yeah, he's the man. Yeah.
They show him a lot on TV now. He got a lot of TV time last night, and he was looking in people's. It felt like he was trying to look in the eyes of his players after he genuine concern, but also. What the fuck's going on here? Are we all right? Yeah, okay, feels like we're good. Let's go somewhere else. He would pat him on the back, turn him around, and hey, look at me. We need to look at her. All right. Felt like it was almost like a soul check real quick. Okay, are we confident? Are we okay? And also, I do care. Tell me how you feel. I like what he has become as a head coach. And obviously, the results are speaking for themselves. Their resume is insane over there. And if they can continue to tackle, that's the easiest way to take a big jump, right, in the defensive game. Good tackling.
Good solid tackling. Don't let him get any extra yards. Those little okay, dude catches the ball for 5 yards, he gets 4 extra that he shouldn't because the guy's hanging on tackling. It's not like a solid tackle. Those guys, if he catches at 5, you tackle him at 5, and you do that consistently throughout the night, which is what they did. It's going to pay off, and I think it did last night.
Yeah, because they're going to get completions, and you know that. But this one completion cannot turn into a fucking 50-yard, 30-yard, 40-yard. Yak cannot be the thing that breaks our back.
Ooh.
Got to be sound tacklers. Got to be able to do that.
Look at you. Yak cannot break our back. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Is that the first time you ever said that?
No, I heard it before, I think, numerous times, obviously.
It makes sense. I don't think I've ever heard it. It makes sense, though.
You might have just made that up.
Oh, okay. Bars, dude. Look at
Let's
that.
go.
Congrats.
Hey,
man.
all you sports media people, you can use it, by the way. And shout out to the guy that didn't ask the tough enough follow-up questions that you guys let slip past the goalie on the immunized questions. So go ahead and use it. Go ahead and do your thing. You know what I mean, AJ?
Yeah, I know. You seem to be bothered by people thinking that you didn't ask the tough questions.
Well, these motherfuckers, it's their fault we're here to begin with.
Who cares, man?
You're right.
I mean, come on now. We know. Okay,
You're right.
You know, in the middle of what's going on and what's happening, Aaron coming on Friday. No matter how you handle it, it's going to be wrong. So guess what? Who cares?
Yeah, but I thought I could maybe find the right answer in there.
You were great. You did great. Like, just all you can do is be you and be authentic and be real, and everyone else, who cares? Doesn't matter.
Thank you, AJ. Hey, AJ.
Holy shit.
I'm just
good
saying,
guy.
people don't. Yeah, there's always going to be issues. That's how it should be. Everyone shouldn't be all on board and say, "Oh, this is awesome" or "This is all terrible." There should be everything in between.
I agree. Hey, here, AJ.
Here, AJ.
Hey. Huh?
A conversation about that stuff, too. I mean, no matter what, some people are going to have a problem.
Huh? You gotta. Hey, man! Hey! Little protein shake from the meathead in the attic over there.
If somehow a massive bottle would have came in your shot.
Yeah. What if that would have just taken over? That would have been awesome. We're not that good of a show. You know, I wish we would have been able to do that.
What are you gonna do?
Speaking of our show, Zito put together an entire new switching system this weekend.
Thank you guys. Thank
A
you.
lot of machines, a lot of plugins, all that shit. We appreciate you, Z. Thank you, man.
Team effort.
Yeah, I mean, there was people that helped you for sure, but this is straight out of the Zito brain. I actually had a chance to chat with him and catch up with him last night about what all he did. I feel like I learned a lot.
Hell yeah.
You know, the 10 input can also be this input. These have to be stagnant. These can be motion. We could do this to this. We don't know why the IP address was set back to factory standard, which wasn't connecting to this one because of this. It's amazing what's in that brain of yours,
yeah.
Zito.
Thank you.
Honestly, it is amazing. And I don't know how all the roads connect.
Me neither.
I don't know how the roads connect, but I know we're live right now on
yeah.
youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Z.
Thank you guys.
You're right. I'm not actually that upset, by the way, but I do think I have it was actually kind of a freeing feeling this weekend because I realized that I was in a no-win situation, like you said.
Yeah.
And people were going to potentially hate me either way. And it didn't affect me as much as I thought. You know, like I had to take care of Valerie, my dog, this weekend with my beautiful wife, Samantha. Valerie's coming out of surgery. She hates the cone. Her thing is in her incision is gnarly. It's a big one. It's on her back right leg. So we could take the cone off her to chill, but we have to watch her because she can't lick that whole thing. So it's a lot of, parenting this weekend with Sam, a lot of conversation with Sam as randomly I'd get tweets or see my dumbass face pop up on screen somewhere. It's like, oh my God, why am I on that channel? Holy hell, there's no reason for that. And it's like, oh, well, it's talking about Aaron. And then a new wave would come in the Twitter mentions, immediately after that appearing. And it was a pretty freeing feeling to be like, well, there was really nothing I could do there. And I'm going to take that into a lot bigger thing. But anytime I have a point to potentially make with these fucking grandstanding pieces of shit who act like they're the smartest humans on earth, I'm definitely going to take the opportunity to take the ball and Gronk spike it.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I got a chance to do today. Because the only reason we're here is because there was no follow-up question to the immunized statement.
That's right.
So for you coming after me about follow-up questions, it's like, who are you? Who are you? And what book did you read? And what education, school, college did you go to ask that question? Because I bet there was a lot of your peers sitting in the immunized room whenever that whole thing happened, and they must have missed that chapter. Is there any conversation there? AJ? So that's why today has been the way it has been today, AJ.
I mean, good for you. I like it. On Monday, you should be a little testy.
No, I'm overreacting on Monday.
Overreaction Monday.
It's Overreaction Monday. By the way, that spike went boom, off the wall, up here, off the desk, off of Santa, into Ty's hands, right back to me. And that's the full circle of this whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hey, what I got quickly before you go to break. What was Romo trying to say? What did he think the game was called?
God.
What is it? Bro,
You've heard the old guy at the end of the bar.
Yeah. He's a babbling stooge.
listen, Corona Tone probably has his crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Right? I assume that there are people that love him, but it does appear as if, and this happens with me too, he's gotten to a point where he's very comfortable. And there is just no,
You're right.
there's no thought that, people are watching this. And that's what a lot of people strive for in this world, is to get to a point where you can be as comfortable on camera and with a microphone in your hand that you can just be your true self and just let it eat and dance as if nobody's watching. That's what everybody's trying to do. Tony Romo has hit that point.
Oh, yeah.
And he's covering games as if no one's listening.
Yeah.
And for that, I guess he should be commended. But there is shit pouring out of his mouth every week that you were like, Tone, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Are you all right? There's a lot of that. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of potential predicting going on. I feel like I did and have learned from Tony Romo. But every week he's on a game, there's a lot of, and it's not just us that think this, by the way. Normally, Corona Tone does well on the internet. Not as well as the name Rogan, but Corona Tone is definitely in there. People going, what is wrong? What is wrong with this dude? Who knows? He's just being Tone.
Do you think Nance is getting sick of him?
Oh, yeah.
See, I didn't think so, because I thought Nance this week much better than weeks past.
Helping him
Because
out
he realizes he's
almost.
got to carry it.
He just needs to tell Tony to put the bottle down. I mean, Jesus
We don't
Christ.
know if that's the case.
Well,
Bottles.
Wow.
There is-
And those Corona bottles are built well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just be
previous Tony statements have directed us to this, conclusion. It's not as if he hasn't done anything.
Let's get to a break. What was he trying to
That is impressive. You're right though. You bring up a good point. It's like me sitting there on the couch, like asking my son, "Okay, what is this game? They call this the."
Everybody listening? Nobody's listening.
Just throw random words out. He
just, you know what I mean? And there's a couple moments where that happens on SmackDown. For instance, there will be full laughing moments by me in situations that I'm probably not supposed to laugh at. And I think to myself, oh no, people are listening to me right now. And I have a couple of those. I got to get better. But he does have the carefreeness that nobody's listening, which I guess all broadcasters are trying to get to. And he's getting paid 17 M's a year, so good on him.
Find your beach. That's what they say.
Well, and also put him in your ear, Toast. Could you imagine him in your ear?
Oh,
no,
man.
thank you. Tostitos. No, thank you.
Going to do it.
I got enough going on in here. I don't need Corona Tone in there.
Cut my ears
Tostito
off.
Tone in there.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, joins us every Overreaction Monday, host of the Man to Man podcast, blogger for Pro Football Focus, formerly 9-year NFL vet at safety, corner, nickel, linebacker, you name it. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. Ooh.
What's up, fellas?
Oh, that's a beautiful day wherever you are. What do you got going on?
It's gorgeous up here, man. I'm actually up in upstate New York, Syracuse. My best friend, Tyvon Branch, is going into the Syracuse Sports Hall of Fame. So I had to come up here and support.
Attaboy, Tyvon! There you go,
That's
Mr.
gonna be
Branch.
fun.
Syracuse, they got a lot of people in the Athletic Hall of Fame
Yes,
up there,
sir.
huh? No, they don't, by the way. Is
They do.
Freeney in there?
Yeah, they do. They do. Freeney is not. No, this is like the city. Like he's from Syracuse, where he went to high school. So I'm sure Breonna Stewart will be here. Greg Paulson, Will Allen, Dorsey Levens, I think is from up here. They got some. Paul Pasqualoni's going in as well this year. They got some people up here.
Okay, well, congrats to everybody that has gone into the Hall of Fame in Syracuse. Let's talk a little bit about the day that was yesterday. Darius, upsets everywhere. Some teams didn't show up. How do we judge this going forward? Are the Cowboys dead? Did they completely stink? How about the Bills? What's going on with the Bills? And then all of a sudden the Rams look like that? Or are the Titans the greatest team? What is your big takeaway, you think?
I mean, my big takeaway is everybody's got a chance, especially on the AFC. AFC's wide open. I would say the Titans, if anybody, kind of separate themselves at all, it was the Titans yesterday, them showing up. Nobody really gave them a chance, especially after losing Derrick Henry. So how does it look long-term from them? But right now, the Titans look like they separated themselves in the AFC. And I think in the NFC, the Bucks had the week off, but right now that would still be my team to beat in the NFC. The Bucks with Brady on his MVP pace. So it's wide open right now in the NFL. The damn Chiefs can get hot and go on a roll. Who knows? They're winning games. They're winning ugly games. Everybody's saying they're broken, they're dead, but they're still winning. They're still finding ways to win in this league, and that's tough to do. So it's too early to count those guys out too.
But are any of the teams like that we thought were going to win this past weekend that lost, like Bills, Rams, teams like that? Are any of those teams? Are you truly worried, Cowboys, to where like, oh, this team, they're not very good and they're going to struggle the rest of the year?
Jesus.
I mean, nah, man, because the Titans lost to the Jets. The Bengals went and got smacked by the Bengals were the best team in the AFC 2-3 weeks ago. They just got smacked back-to-back weeks. So it's like, honestly, nothing's true. Like, you don't know what it is right now. Week 9 was absolutely nuts, and Week 10, I don't think it'll get any better. We should have known coming into Sunday with everything that happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday throughout the week that it was going to be crazy. But right now, honestly, I'm more confused than ever.
At what point do you think we learn about a team, and what point do you think the players know what type of team they are? I had an opportunity to be on a completely undefeated team until they chose to lose, and then I was also on a team that was completely defeated for about 12, 13 weeks, and I think it was pretty apparent at one point in the season. I don't remember when, but do you have a feel for when you think some teams are going to recognize what they are, who they are?
I think a lot of teams really separate themselves around Thanksgiving. And that was one thing that Belichick would always say in New England. This is when the season really starts. And that's really that home stretch. So right now, that's the message in every room around every facility around the league. Probably say, hey, look at what happened to that team. Look at what happened. Like, look, everybody's still in this. We can get hot. We can start stacking some wins. And because who's got first round locked up? Who's got the bye locked up? Nobody knows at this point. So everybody still's got a shot, man. So it's good for teams even that are kind of hovering around that 500 spot. Even like the team like the Colts. The Colts will get hot.
Hey, Jonathan Taylor's a player, dude. He is a player. He's big. He's fast. He seems to be intelligent. Loves working hard. And Carson Wentz, he is 7 foot tall, 400 pounds in pads. I went to that game on Thursday. He looks massive. That team could get going, but they dug themselves quite a hole to start this whole thing. We all would hope when T.Y. gets back, maybe the Colts go. D-Bud, I like where your head's at. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, D-Bud, what the hell happened to the Cowboys? Because last week they were going to win the Super Bowl, and now this week they lose to the Broncos, who didn't even have Von Miller anymore.
What a question.
I mean, they got dominated. I was, watching the tickets, so I was watching a bunch of the games, and I didn't, every time I looked at that box, the Broncos had the ball. I never saw Dak with the ball, never saw a drive. So I have to go back and actually watch that tape. But from the outside looking in, they just completely got dominated. And who the hell would have expected that from the Broncos? This season and this Sunday made absolutely zero sense. I still can't make sense of it.
It's almost like we get a chance to experience the NFL kickoff to a season again, Here we are 9 weeks in, a whole new season's about to begin. The Giants just beat Bisaccia. Nobody could have guessed that. The Broncos, maybe they're not dead. Maybe Teddy Two Gloves, MVP candidate, rattles off the rest of the season. Broncos get rid of Von Miller. They start winning. Hey, let's go. Maybe. Denver, that'd be nice for you. Go ahead, Ty.
D-But, you've been one of the
Colt
loudest.
McCoy came out, got a win.
Wow. Hey, Shanahan might stink.
Shanahan might stink.
People are saying
Shanahan might stink. He's gonna be he'll be good because his last name is Shanahan. He signed a 6-year deal. But if that was anybody else, he'd be on the hot seat. It's not looking good.
Go ahead, Ty.
D-But, you've been one of the loudest soldiers in the Sam Darnold stinks army, and week after week, he just continues to fucking stink even more. When do you think the Panthers are going to just be like, all right, this guy ain't the guy. We can't keep trotting him out there?
I mean, they already pulled him once. I didn't think they would have even went back to him, but he's just digging his hole even more. I mean, I don't think he's a starting. I thought at some point he could be a good starting quarterback, but I don't even think he's a starting quarterback. And he just makes too many bonehead mistakes, too many just drive killers. He has talent, but everybody has talent in the league. I didn't want to be right, but he absolutely stinks.
You lost one battle. They made you apologize one time, but in the overall war of Darnold stinks, you were a general for a long time, and I think now you have won that particular war, at least in everybody's eyes whenever you watch Darnold play. Christian McCaffrey was even on the field there a little bit, so that's obviously alarming. Let's talk about something real quick before we let you go, and we can't thank you enough for joining us, D-Bud, on traveling.
Thank you, D-Bud.
Real quick, I got to ask Ty, what do you think about Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur without A-Rod?
I thought he stunk yesterday. Pretty bad. They should have won that game very easily.
Yeah, well, so the absence of Aaron, Packers look much different. Obviously, Chiefs still question they get a win. Absence of Odell Beckham Jr. for the Browns seems like they have more success than whenever he's there. Why is that? Obviously, he's a great player, but why does it seem like the Browns are better without him? What do you think it is from top to bottom there?
I mean, I honestly don't know, because it would be one thing if I felt like when Odell was in the lineup, Baker was trying to force him the ball or, get him, 10 to 12 targets a game. But when he was in there, he wasn't even looking his way. And when he did throw it to him, they weren't on the same page. So I don't know. But they came out and they responded as a team. Baker, he looked good. The team looked good. I think he was the highest graded quarterback of the week. So hopefully they kind of pick up that whole division. I mean, that AFC North, the AFC West. I mean, everything's up in the air right now, but I don't know what it is right there. But I think I want to see Odell land. I would really want to see him out there in Las Vegas or in Baltimore. So I still think he has a lot in the tank. I still think he's a wide receiver one. And, he's too young to just kind of, fall off like we've seen him fall off these last couple of years.
I agree. I saw Lamar Jackson say, what do you want me to do? basically what Lamar said, like, hey, what do you want me to do? This is not my world. But Odell going to a place and having an immediate impact would be the nightmare of the Browns, who were trying to figure out financially how to get rid of him. But I think their team got better by subtraction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Addition by subtraction.
Boom, there it is. And I think Odell will get better as well. Sounds like a win-win. Much like I think the celebration you're about to head to right now. We can't thank you enough for joining us, Darius.
Appreciate you, fellas.
Hey, you look good up there. Hey, sun shining. Look like you're in some good shape.
Hey, man. It is nice. The fall is freaking autumn. I don't get this in Florida, so.
Wow, look at you out on that patio, too, down there.
See, man.
Oh, those sweets,
Nice
comfort
out here in
sweets.
315.
All right, well, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. So sorry to interrupt, but I want to let you know that if you're not gambling with FanDuel, you're wrong. Okay, FanDuel Sportsbook is available in 7 states, I believe, at this point. 6, 7, 8. You get it. If you're not gambling with FanDuel Sportsbook, though, you're completely wrong. And if we're not in your state yet, we are coming to your state. We have better odds. We have a much easier to use app. The convenience is next level. The people at FanDuel actually refund people when they shouldn't refund people, giving back hundreds of millions and millions of dollars to their users. FanDuel Sportsbook is the best sportsbook going for a lot of reasons, most of them what I just said. We are very thankful for our partnership with FanDuel, obviously. There's so many different ways to win. There's more things to bet on. Their boosts seem to always hit, which is just fucking themselves over time and time again. We love the hell out of FanDuel Sportsbook, and you will too. If you haven't used it yet, use it now. Also, there's fantasy on there, daily fantasy, and free-to-play games where you can win money. Shout out to FanDuel, shout out to you. Let's get back to the show. Hey, Mama, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a Grammy-winning musician who has been a part of my life since my days back in Plum High School. I understand that at some places, whenever you're drunk and there's a band playing, a cover band, some people scream, hey, play Hey Bird! Hey Bird! I've experienced that in other places amongst drunks. My particular drunk group of friends, whenever any situation would pop up or call for it, we would literally scream, play some Hootie! Hootie was the lifeline of my group of friends and I in high school. And when Darius decided to step out on his own, we were all very worried that something great was potentially ending. But what we didn't realize is another elite career was coming as Darius Rucker as a solo artist. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dolphins make this man cry. The only BS he needs is beers and sunshine. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Rucker. Yeah! What's going on?
How you guys doing?
This is exactly how I hoped this would be. You're on a golf cart right now, living your absolute best life. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. I am on a golf course living my best life. Yes.
Well, you sing about that a lot. We appreciate your dedication to our entertainment over the decade.
Oh, thank you guys for having me, man.
No, well,
Trying to get a good spot for the light. There you go.
The light's always bright when you're Darius Rucker. Are you just?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you just live in Charleston still? Has anything?
I live between Charleston and Nashville.
Okay, has anything in your life changed, or is this like whenever you guys were finding Hootie, the life you dreamt of living whenever you started, you're just living that now? And just how long did it take to kind of get to that point?
Oh, I never dreamt I could live this life. This is getting to play. I play a lot of golf. I play a lot of shows. I mean, I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing.
Well, I think as soon as that first Hootie album came out, I mean, everybody knew. Whenever you decide to go alone, was that a decision that was very difficult to make, I assume? How did everybody else handle it? And were you a little bit nervous at all, or did you know that you fucking just kill it? It doesn't matter.
No, I was nervous, but actually wasn't my idea. We were on tour like we always were every summer, and one of the guys came back and called a band meeting and said he didn't want to be a touring band anymore. So I always wanted to make country music, so I decided I guess I might as well go to Nashville.
What was your first couple months like when you were like a solo act and you go out there on your own? Like, it had to be kind of intimidating.
Oh, it was. It was funny because Hootie, we toured and then we quit, and like 6 months later I played a couple buildings that we had just headlined, but I was like the first band on like a 3-band bill. It was me, Brad Paisley, and Dierks Bentley, and so it was weird to be back, going on at 5:30, playing 30 minutes. But it was, I wanted to do it from the bottom up, and it worked, and it was fun.
You think Wagon Wheel was the thing that got you? You think that was the launch? And how does that process work of like reinventing a song in your own way?
I'd had probably, I guess, 5 number ones before, 5 songs, and then Wagon Wheel came along and definitely changed the game. That. The numbers on that record are crazy, and but you want that. Everybody wants that song that lasts forever. And when you do somebody else's song, you never know what's going to happen. But I'm glad it did happen.
How does that go? You just have to reach out to Dylan and just say,
you just cut it. You cut it. You really don't have to ask anybody to cut their songs. You got to do it and then put it out.
Crush.
But I'll tell you one thing: they got paid a lot more money than I did.
We're talking to Darius Rucker, obviously superstar. The CMAs are this weekend. I don't know enough about it. I assume you're going to win every one of those. But a cool thing for us to chat about is you're going to be doing an intimate theater tour. Why did you make that decision, and how are you going to go about doing it?
We talked about doing something in the winter, and I wanted to play these. These are places. Most of the places that we're playing, I never got to play because Hootie went straight from the clubs to the arenas. And, with the country, like I said, I went straight into the arenas as a baby band. So I never got to play any of those iconic theaters around the country. And so we decided to just go out, play 2 nights in a bunch of places and just have fun.
Hey, I know you're a big, sports fan, college football, of course. What about the NFL right now? Where are you? Are you a Dolphins fan? You think they're going to win the Super Bowl anytime soon?
I know they're not going to win it this year. I thought we were going in the right direction. I still think we're going in the right direction. This year's a step back from last year when, we're 1 game away from making the playoffs. So it's kind of disappointing what's going on. But, I'm diehard when it comes to the Dolphins. And so I hope we win the Super Bowl before I die just one more time.
The Dolphins make me cry is a line that I think has rang very true amongst all Dolphins fans around the globe. We have a guy from North Left Canada, okay, and he's from North Left Canada, and he's a diehard Miami Dolphins fan. And that line basically sums up his entire existence as an NFL fan. So I think he wanted to take a moment to say thank you for really vocalizing his life.
Yeah, thank you for that, Darius. I get to tweet out that video from Hootie and the Blowfish every time the Dolphins stink and lose every Sunday.
So you get to do that a lot.
Yeah. Well, just beat the Texans. I mean, let's go ahead and rally around Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. Absolutely. We'll take victory.
You got to take those wins as much as you can. Whenever you write a song, what is the process like? Are you on a golf course? Are you sober? Are you with friends? Are you? How much do you do all that?
I can be with friends or by yourself. Sometimes I'm usually sober, but sometimes not. You know, it varies. Different songs come different ways.
Which one was the easiest song to make?
Oh, Let Her Cry was the easiest song I've ever written.
It's a fucking heater, too.
Why? How'd that come out?
That came out of nowhere.
Let her tears fall down like rain. Let her roll. You need backup?
Yeah, way in the back. Way in the back.
For these theater shows, you say you just want to have a good time. How will you shape your set? Do you ever play any Hootie songs, or are you completely past?
No, I think if I didn't play Hold My Hand and Let Her Cry and Only Want to Be With You, I'd be ripping people off. You know, I play those songs every night. I love those songs. I'm proud of those songs. Those songs made me, you know, who I am today. So yeah, I play them all the time.
Now I watch what's that show? Songland.
Yeah.
I watch I watch Songland. You enjoy that show?
I do like that show.
Me too. Hey, you and me. Hey, no big deal. Were you born naked?
Huh?
Were you born naked?
Yes, I was born with no clothes on. Yes.
Me too, man. Fucking me and Darius Rucker might be the same people. This is absolutely crazy. But watching those songs kind of come together behind the scenes is always fascinating. And then a couple of the artists chatted about how they don't want to play songs anymore that they used to play maybe 10 years ago because when they're performing them, they don't think they can tap into the emotions of the performance or whatever. Do you ever have any of that? Is there any songs that you don't play or songs that you enjoy playing?
I don't have that at all. I love playing my songs every night. I love playing those songs from 27 years ago because, you know, when you hit that song and you hear that the audience reaction, man, that's worth every minute of playing it. So I'm not that guy. I love playing all those old songs.
That's awesome.
Darius, you ever have any like huge mishaps on stage? Like you ever fall off stage or break your leg and Dave Grohl like he's singing in a chair? Anything like that happen?
I have. I jumped off a 12-foot stage once because this girl was really hot and I had to go dance with her. And everybody heard my ACL snapping too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And you finished the show?
Oh, I finished the show. Finished the tour. That was the first show of the tour.
Did you get to dance with her on the tour in ACL?
Yes, of course. I didn't go down, man. Oh man.
What a legend. Now, obviously, live shows are in huge scrutiny because of what happened with Travis Scott and Astro World. How much of thinking for the audience do you have to do while performing? Like, do you have to keep an eye on things because you have a different view than everybody else? Is there any of that or any thought of that, or are you just trying to do your job and do your thing?
In that situation, yeah. I mean, in the situation where people start going down, you have to take control because you're the only one who really can. You know, we've had it happen in fights or people fading in our shows, and we just stop. I mean, we're gonna stop. I'm gonna stop and handle that because you don't want anybody to get hurt. You know.
Yeah, and you have the microphone, and you also have the best view on it, so you would assume. Yes. I mean, there is a lot of scrutiny right now about that. Go ahead, Ty.
Darius, I believe I saw in like 2016 you became a partner in a sports agency. Is that something that you're still like actively involved in, or did you start that and then kind of realize like, oh shit, this is a lot more work than I anticipated?
Oh no, very much so involved in. Trevor Lawrence is one of our clients.
Hey, congrats! Wow. Hey, congrats!
So I'm very much involved with it. Something that I love doing. I love being a part of it. It's pretty cool. It's another one of those cool things I get to do.
So what do? You golf, you sing, you perform, you write songs, and you're a sports agent? I mean, what is this the coolest life of all time?
I hang out with my kids a lot, too.
Dad of the year. Every time I hear you sing about South Carolina, I just think to myself, that must be the most beautiful place on earth. Are you there forever after the Nashville run ends?
Oh yeah. I'm never leaving Charleston. That's where I'm supposed to die. I'll be there forever.
Classic. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Darius, we saw Tim McGraw a couple weeks ago kind of, have a situation when he had a concert and people were booing him, and I assume that's never happened to you, but have you ever had to, like, stop a concert for any reason or no?
No, I mean, like, fights and stuff like that, but not nothing like that. No, I mean, I don't know. Our fans are pretty tame, I think. I mean, they come have a good time.
You ever forget the lyrics?
Oh God, yeah, all the time. That's why I got a teleprompter now. Sinatra could do it, I could do it.
How long you been using the teleprompter? I know you're not the only one, that's for sure.
About 2 years now, man. I mean, not that I forget very often, but I mean, I've been in the middle of Let Her Cry, looking at the band, going, how does it start? You know? It happens. It happens.
How many shows are you doing on this Intimate Theater tour? And do you ever get tired, or you just been on tour for so long?
You get tired, but not at Showtime. Showtime's always fun, but I'm doing, I think, 12 or 14. It's going to be real short.
How much of Bradley Cooper's depiction of being a touring rock star is accurate?
Well, back in about 1994, it was pretty accurate.
Go ahead, Tone.
Darius, I was just in Nashville this weekend. When are you going to build a Darius Rucker 4-story honky tonk down on Broadway?
Oh, the Hootie level?
As soon as I get some crazy guy with a lot of money to put up, as soon as that happens, I'm in.
How's your golf game?
It's pretty good. I'm on 9 and I'm 3 over right now. It's okay.
Okay. Golfing in a t-shirt, you're Darius fucking Rucker, huh?
Troubadour, baby, Troubadour. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I like that. You have a deal going on with the NFL and Fanatics right now?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I got a clothing line coming out. All 32 teams. A whole bunch of great. I mean, the clothes are amazing. I mean, it's been sad because we were supposed to get it out at the beginning of the season, but with the supply chain and everything, we haven't been able to get anything in. So we're launching it here in the weekend. I mean, I'm just excited for everybody to see it. It's a whole bunch of great clothes, and every time I see my logo right under the NFL logo, I feel pretty proud.
Hey, you should let her cry. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Is Hootie going to do another run together like you guys did in 2019, or did COVID?
I guarantee you we will. We just want to do it when the time's right. It's like, for us now, we know going out every year is not our thing, but if we go out every 4 or 5 years, we can sell out. It'll be a good time.
All right. Well, good luck on the rest of this round. Thanks for catching up with us. And I think you're coming to Indianapolis. I assume we'll watch the show. So good luck on that.
Looking forward to seeing y'all there. Y'all take care.
Hey, you too, man. Darius Rucker.
Yeah!
Thank you for allowing us to penetrate your ear holes. The fact you allow us in your day-to-day, I can't thank you enough for. I will be eternally grateful for it. Real talk. That's a shoot, brother. We're back tomorrow with another Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Be a friend, tell a friend. I assume it'll be large. I can't wait to hear what is said, what happens. I hope you're excited as well. Be a friend, tell a friend. If not, just act like it never happened. Ty, please play some independent music and propel these people into a beautiful Monday Night Football Monday before Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Cheers.